Hello, 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 hello. Hi, 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 hi. Hi everyone. This is Ralph. It's another beautiful Sunday. The weather is good in the UK, so yeah. It's lovely to have you guys here. Today's a big day for us. We are interviewing a great person and someone huge in the sneaker scene. Someone that we have the honor to talk to today. So hopefully he should be joining us soon. He's Kaff official. I met him recently. I was introduced to him by a very good person from Offspring, and we kicked on from there. So it'll be really good. I think you're going to learn a lot from this interview. We did it basically for you guys because we still MysolezFly is out to look out for everyone else. The singer community in Ghana is still growing. There are a lot of people that love sneakers these days. So it's nice that we could help make this possible. Now, my co-host as usual. Uh, yeah, but can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, just wave, say something, shout. Anyway, what?
Yo, what's good, bro?
Nothing much, Maji. Nothing much. I'm just. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just chilling. It's been a really calm day.
Yeah. How was
How you
the
doing?
free day? It's all right. I've been doing good. I was just looking forward to this interview, to be honest with you. So
Sweet.
yeah. And today
You
I'm
mentioned
wearing
the
my
Free the Youth events
I'm
today,
wearing
or
my Habitin t-shirt.
nice.
Habitin, repping Habitin
Who's
today.
that by? I saw
Yeah.
you repost this.
Nah, it's
Grace,
cold.
I
Nice
appreciate the
stuff.
love.
Yeah, Grace has joined. Guys, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Write something in the comments. Let me know how your week is
Biscuits, what's
going.
good, bro?
Biscuit. Yo, thank you guys for coming. The female painter. Wow. Okay, that's great. Good, good, good. We've got lovely Lorraine.
Ralph, I
Okay.
appreciate the
Yeah.
love.
Thanks so much, guys. I'm gonna try and invite Kaff over. So basically the whole format is going to be anyway, can you tell them how the format is gonna be like whilst I try and invite Kaff over?
So yeah, basically, this today's live is going to be centered around our guest. He is a consultant in the sneaker community. It's Kaff, and the
Wagwan
structure
Kaff.
is
Going on, man?
Nothing much, bro. What's up?
Nothing. I was sorry, and it took long. So
Uh yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready to go now? Or do you want us to give you some more time?
no, I'm good. I'm good to go.
Okay, okay, cool. This is my co-host anyway. He's NY, he's part of the team. NY
Hey,
Kaff.
it's good to meet
Yeah,
you, bro.
yeah.
no,
Kaff, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. It's such an honor to have you here, and yeah, we're looking forward to this interview today.
good. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah. Um, Kaff, first off, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. So I'm just in it. I just I started posting. Um, okay, I'll go to the very beginning. So basically, in my younger years, I've done a lot of retail. So I worked for JD Sports at one point. Left there. Then I worked for Office, which, if you know, is part of the sort of Offspring family or
Yeah,
brand of businesses. And then I kind of stepped away from footwear retail and just went into the corporate world.
yeah,
So this job 9 to 5, but sneakers was always a passion. Um, Especially growing up in South London, it's a very in those years it was very much grime, hip hop, that sort of and one basketball culture. My sister played basketball. She would regularly play against the Brixton Top Cats. So all of that was just like my environment. So
yeah,
I was very heavy on sort of the traditional or stereotype London model of shoes. So like the Shocks R4 and Air Max 90s, Air Max 1s.
yeah.
Uh, Wearing New Balance was a sin. Wearing you had to be an Adidas guy, so you had to have the full tracksuit and shell
Tracksuit, yeah,
sambas. And this is back when all the grime artists were getting sponsored by Adidas, so like the Trim Trab tracksuits and all of that.
yeah,
And yeah, and then eventually, so I kind of stepped away from sneakers, but always had a passion for it. And I sort of started my Instagram account, and I was just posting everything I had. And back then, it was like it was just anything I liked. So like Adidas Nizza highs from like a factory outlet and things like that, or sort of a size, that one of those size collabs. It's like the Air Max. It looked like an Air Max 90, but it wasn't an Air Max 90. And I can't remember the name of the model, but I'll just post anything. And it got to a point where I was like, this was like the early Instagram and Facebook days. So
Yeah.
A lot of the sneakerhead sort of sneaker centric things were like Facebook and Facebook groups like Basement and all that, and then Soul Supply popped up, and then they were doing all these like Yeezy giveaways on that live Facebook feeds before Instagram Live and all of that. And I got a bit annoyed, so I was like, how are there all these sort of pockets of people that know where all these drops are gonna be? And it's like I felt like even though I was heavy into sneakers, I felt like an outsider because I never knew where to go. Where like people would say, "Oh yeah, where'd you cop them Yeezys?" Oh, I got it from Adidas. Didn't even know Adidas had them in store. And there was all these pockets of people, inside information, or friends at the shops, or friends with security guards and things like that. So I got annoyed, and I was like, "How can I find out this information and just share it with everyone, so everyone's got a level playing field?" So like the release dates, when it's dropping, the shock drops, and this is before sneakers app and all of that. So then I just started doing my research, and I was like, right, I'm gonna set up a page, and it doesn't matter what level you are, whether you're an OG, whether you're a newbie, whether you're a casual, and just give the information, and then at least everyone knows about it. Like it's still gonna be hard to get it, but at least it levels the playing field.
Round a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then around I think it's 2012, 2013, things started to shift so that sneakers were getting too hard to get. And the in-store drops was too much trouble. There was too much fights. People were getting robbed. Online releases were just botted. It was to get like a mass produced pair of Jordan 1s, or I think at the time it was Yeezys. This is back when the V1s had just finished, and it was like the V2 Oreos were dropping and things like that.
Yeah.
And then it was Offspring. It was the Atmos drop, the Air Max 1 and Air Max 95 Atmos 2.0 was dropping. And they just put a post up like a teaser of the shoe, or like it wasn't even a raffle, it was just a teaser of the shoe. And some guy, I've forgotten his name, and I feel so bad because this is where it all started. Some guy made a comment, and I replied to his comment, and I said, it was fun. What he said was so funny. I said, this is comment of the day, like something along the lines of, this is comment of the day. Give this guy a pair, or give this guy access, or something. And Offspring saw the comment, and they were like, if this comment gets 100 likes, well, this guy gets a pair. Like not free, obviously. He gets a
I
back.
guess to buy it from retail. Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, that's fair enough. So I shared it on my story, and the community, just the people, we didn't even, this was back when there was no community. Like there
Yeah.
was a community, but there wasn't an Offspring community.
Yeah.
Everyone in the comments started liking. And before I knew it, it had 120 likes, and fair play to them. They messaged the guy, they messaged me. They was like, you did it basically. So when these shoes drop, you say no more. You two have got a pair. And I was like, raw.
Wow.
Not, not arrogant enough to say that's how the Offspring community started, because they gave us the opportunity, and it's not for me to say whether I started it
Yeah.
or not. But that
Yeah.
was the of my journey.
Yeah.
And since then, things blew up, and it's like I think people underestimate how easy, or how difficult it is to grow a following organically.
Yeah.
So some people explode and get 20, 30,000 followers because of a viral moment.
Yeah.
Others, because it's like people who do the loot boxes and things like that, is because they offer something and people think that by engaging or following with these lot, I'm going to get something. With me, it's always just been information. I've never promised to give anyone a pair of anything. So I'm very grateful for the following I've got, because people are like, why ain't you got 20,000, 30,000? Because I can't engage with that many people, and the followers I've got, engage with them. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's not followers. I don't think of it as followers, because you're not following me. I'm not a celebrity. It's more like, these are my people.
Your
And
people. Yeah. Yeah.
that's kind of like, there's a lot of filler in there, but that's
Mhm.
kind of like how it all started and
Right.
went.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does. Um, what are your earliest sneaker memories, and what would you say? Which sneaker would you say got you into sneakers, into shoes?
Um, shout out to everyone from an African household. They'll know this one. My earliest, my earliest sneaker memories. I really wanted a pair of infrared Air Max 90s, and
Mm.
this is back when I lived like near South Norwood, Thornton Heath in South London, and I asked my mum to get me a pair, and to her credit, like mum and dad, that generation of Africans, they do what they can in it.
Yeah.
She came back. She said she got me them, and I opened it, and it was a pair. I don't know if anyone remembers this brand, but it was a pair of Knicks. They're not Nike.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
they are a rip. The air is basically just plastic. It's like rock solid plastic.
Yeah.
And so my mum tried, didn't it? So then years went by. I got my first job, and this is something everyone can relate to this story because I've seen it told so many times. Couldn't
Multiple.
afford sneakers. Got my first job. Was able to buy my first pair of sneakers. So I think the first pair I bought with my own money was a pair of tangerine orange Huaraches, um, and a pair of Air Max 90s that I've not been able to find them since. It was like they were white, blue with an orange tangerine air unit. And then Air Max 95s, and again, I forget the names, it's aqua something. They were like white,
Yeah.
blue, green, with like a turquoise blue air unit as well. And this was back when you went for the colors you liked. It wasn't, oh, these are the infrareds, these are the
Yeah.
pine green. I wasn't an OG, so I didn't know about names and retros and all that.
Yeah.
So, and funny enough, it turns out now that I'm at a point where I can look back, a lot of the Air Max models I had are coming back out. And then I'm realizing, like, oh, those were infrareds. Oh, those were midnight navies.
Yeah.
And the dunks. When I was in college, I had Georgetown dunks, but we didn't call them that. They were just the
Yeah.
navy dunk. Locker.
Yeah.
When the dunks started coming out and they were like Syracuse, Kentucky's, like back then it was just the midnight. Can I get the midnight navy dunks, please? Like, and they were just on the shelf. This was back when it was Foot Locker versus JD, who had the most exclusive
Exclusive.
version.
Yeah.
And I remember Foot Locker had the Air Max 90s that looked like infrareds, but they had like a grey mesh. And then JD had navy blue ones with the silver swoosh. And yeah, man, my earliest memory, to come back to the question, is probably the Air Max 95 and Air Max 90s, because that was really, they kind of, those were kind of the head turners when you went back to school and college. So,
Yeah.
and it made you feel good. So when you got that next paycheck, you knew what you was doing. But those were my earliest memories.
Nice. Nice. And
um,
right, the next one.
yeah, I know we've asked what your earliest pair is, but looking back, is there any pair you would have to have in your collection all the time?
Yeah, Air Max One. I always have
Mhm.
to have a pair. I think,
Before the hype, yeah.
but yeah, the anniversary. Well, it wasn't called Anniversary Red back then, but the Anniversary Red Air Max Ones. It's a comfortable shoe. It's like a timeless silhouette. It goes with everything. It's a very, and I don't want to claim it because every time I say it, people say, "Oh, there's other areas like Manchester." And all that. It in my era. It was a very London shoe as well, and I'm a London boy at heart. I would always have to have a pair of MX ones in my rotation, definitely.
Okay. Talking about that, is there if um based on your answer, if you had the chance to collaborate with any brand, which brand would it be, and which silhouettes would you like to work on?
It would definitely be Nike. Um, I've definitely got a bias with Nike. But I they were the brands growing up. Adidas have done their thing. The others have come up. New Balance are doing their thing, but definitely Nike. And it would have to be. It's a toss up between the 90 and the Air Max One. I think because over time I've lost love for the 90 and then come back to it and then lost it and then come back. Yeah, I've always maintained the same love for the Air Max One. So it'd be Nike and it would be definitely be an Air Max 1 model. And it would definitely be themed around London, but not grey. Every London shoe that comes out grey. So
Like the London Dunks.
it definitely be something.
Cool.
Right. So I know we have all these sneakers on display, but we want to know what's currently on your rotation.
Um, actually, I've got a couple we're here. And because I moved house recently, um, these are like the ones that are close by. So my current rotation, the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1. Um, I like the story behind it. I like the fact they're kind of aged and distressed already. So if I'm wearing them and someone steps on my foot or I scuff them, I don't care. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the beauty of this shoe. I wear this religiously, man. A lot of people that aren't into sneakers don't understand it. Like, why have you
Yeah.
got brand new mashup shoes? But
It's like the Magnus Walker dunk.
yeah. I hope he does another one. I normally take my boy out for walks and stuff or go to the park, and this pair is a bit sentimental. So the ACG Air Rivedercis, people will look at them and think, ACG. But honestly, they're really comfortable. The air unit is massive. I picked these up, and the reason they got sentimental value is because when I got them, there was like a walk across London. Well, not across London. There was like a walk in London to all these sort of secret locations, and it was arranged by Nike through Offspring. And I met a lot of people that have become friends for life during that as well. So these have got a special place, and they're in the rotation all the time. They're by the front door, so I always got, especially for the English weather. They're waterproof.
Yeah.
Um, we're speaking about this one earlier. This one again is sentimental value because it was my birthday. The year they came out, didn't expect to get them, got them, and they're like a piece of art. So the EU exclusive off-white, they're always in rotation, but I always struggle to wear them for obvious reasons. The English weather is terrible and
Yeah.
they're white. But I always keep these nearby. They're near and dear to my heart. So yeah. Um, and people that follow me know that I'm a London boy at heart. I say it all the time. I always try and represent. So
Yeah.
comfort, London's.
That's the London
Yeah, got the
one.
logo there.
Yeah.
Um, they kind of look like the poor man's Dior's, the same color, the same.
Kaff, these came out last year, didn't they?
But I think it was either last year or the year before.
The year before or something. Yeah. Yeah.
The production year is,
I think I missed out on this one. It's one of the pairs that I'm still chasing.
yeah, 26th August 2020 to 22nd October 2020. So 2020 this was.
Okay, 2020. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Really nice materials, tumbled leather. They got suede on the counter. The leather's very soft. You've got kind of those off-white vibes with the raw trimming.
Trimmings, yeah.
And I love sail. So sail laces, sail midsole. And the hit of blue is really nice. Very comfortable. If anyone hasn't tried the Zoom Comfort Jordan 1s yet, have to try it, man. The next one is more recent, and it's in my rotation just because I got them recently and I've been wearing them. It's the Travis Air Max 1. Again,
Yep.
Air Max 1. Travis is kind of a no. I love what they've done with the Air unit, how it's been painted in for like that vintage look.
Yeah.
When images first came out, people were like, "Where's the Air unit?" It's there. It's just
covered, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I've only worn these maybe twice since I got them, but I don't know what they've done with this particular model, but it's more comfortable than any other Air Max 1 I've got. And it goes with a lot. And finally, I mean, again, Air Max 1s, innit? The Concepts Air Max are out. Again, I wasn't expecting to get these. These were from Concept. Shipping was horrible.
Did you have to pay tax on it?
It was horrible. You might as well pay.
Or duty, what do you call it? Yeah.
But I love the whole pack. The denim on them is unique on each pair. the paisley print.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know, but obviously the tongue is suede as well. Really nice materials. That hit of brown and turquoise just there. Really nice shoe, man. And again, more comfortable than the usual GR Air Max 1. So that's my current rotation at the moment.
Okay, cool. Talking about you did mention a few sentimental pairs, but if you were to be asked, what is your most sentimental pair? Which one would it be?
My
And what's
most
the reason? Yeah.
it would be my I haven't got them here with me because they're in storage, but the Atmos Animal Air Max 1. Going back to the earlier story I was saying, that is pretty much where the community started for me anyway.
Yeah.
But that was also where my Instagram account really exploded. I think at the time I was on about 3,000 followers. And over the course of that year, it went to like 7. And that was just through engagement,
Yeah.
meeting events, posting releases on my stories. And funnily enough, I've only worn that pair twice, I think. Um, and it's just because it means that pair means the world to me. So I feel like if I batter them, it kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
If I wear it, but they mean a lot. So I struggle. I struggle to sort of just take them out. So if I'm going to like Asda or something, yeah, I'm not. They're not going to be on for long, but
Yeah.
mean a lot to me. So yeah.
Even if you should get the same one gifted to you, would it still mean the same, even though it's not the same that same pair that was handed over to you?
That's a good question. I think if if I got a second pair gifted,
A second pair, yes.
the funny thing is, I'd probably wear the gifted one with less care than the original one,
Yeah.
just because it kind of allows me to wear it as much as I want, knowing that the original one
It's still
with the
there.
value attached is unworn. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good question, but I'd probably still leave the original pair,
Yeah.
but wear the gifted one a lot more.
Okay. Okay.
I have to ask, what would you say is your all-time grail? This could be a sneaker you don't own.
It, it, it was even the style code on my WhatsApp, the Chicago Off-White one, without hesitation. People hear that and think, oh, it's because it's hype, it's Off-White. It's
The
nah,
last dance.
nah. When the 10 originally launched, I was invited to the off-campus event, which was like a pop-up in Shoreditch for the Off-White, the entire collection, the 10. And I went there. This before my Instagram account was what it is now. This is before I was doing what I was doing in the community. I went there, just me on my own with my little rubbish Samsung camera, and it was at Nike Lab and another venue near. I think they were near where Sneakers and Stuff is based in Shoreditch, and man, ASAP Nas was there, and Virgil came there. Like he just turned up. Like it was a whole day, and there was like a workshop, and they had like all the models in like these like futuristic pods, and the Chicago was there with like a in like behind glass with the Jumpman logo, and the Air Max 97s were on some like floating pole. It was mad. And then we went to some workshop, and they were like, yeah, they spoke about the whole design brief and the story behind it, and how Virgil was stripping away the layers from the Air Force One and the Jordan and the MX-90, going back to basics as if it was the models on the factory floor. Like this was
Yeah.
the first time stripping back all the years of development to go back to the original prototype, and then sort of reverse it and
Reimagine it.
show what the shoe is from the inside out, which is why the the Jordan is like, if you were to cut a Jordan and turn it inside out, this
You would
is
have that, and yeah. Yeah.
um there was, and then Virgil turned up and I was like, what the is this? And at the end of it, they were like, so which pair do you want? And I was like, what? I
Wait,
didn't know,
just like that.
but I chose the Air Max 90 because I'm from London, innit? That was
Yeah.
the of all the 10. And I'm like, a London boy, like, forget the Jordan 1, forget the 97s, I want the 90. And even the staff, and I was like, yeah, man. They were like, credit to you. You're the first person today that's asked for the 90s. And I was like, how come? What's the other one? They were like, oh, the Jordan. I didn't know what the Jordan looked like. And then sort of the following week when it was releasing on like was it on Nike? I don't know if the sneakers app was out at the time. And then I saw the Chicago. I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Should have.
Now I get it. And funny enough, my wife, who's my fiance at the time, she
Yeah.
won of the Jordans from Pata. But
Ooh,
but Pata were being really strict, and they were like, if it's not you and it's not your size,
nice.
you can't have it. So when she went to collect it, they were like, nah, you're not a
Yeah.
size 10.
No,
And
no way.
they re-raffled it and sent it to Amsterdam. So I was that killed me, man.
Broken.
I
Broken.
got those the first Presto, the black and sail one,
Yeah.
the Blazers, the 90s, and I think there was one more, and the Converse, the see-through one,
Yeah.
when the original 10 dropped. And I was happy with that, man. I was set, but the Chicago has eluded me, and now it's way too much.
It's would
Yeah.
you say that's the one sneaker that you are still chasing or yet to? Or is there any other sneaker that like you're looking forward to getting that has eluded you all this time in your sneaker journey?
I feel like if I got that shoe, there's a 70% chance I would stop. I feel
Really?
I feel like that shoe is my finish line. If I was ever able to get a pair of the Chicago Off-White ones, I would seriously consider calling it a day, because that there's no other shoe that tops it for me, and I don't think any other shoe will have that meaning to me. Because it was the event, it was being able to meet Virgil, um, the whole experience, and it doesn't matter what shoe comes out now. Even if you had a Off-White Travis Fragment Jordan 1 come out, it just wouldn't. No, there's no other shoe I feel the way about other than that shoe. If I got it legitimately, I would consider calling it a day. I think that is my end game.
You seem to have a very, very strong liking for Virgil. Is it because you guys have the same Ghanaian background, or is there any other reason why you have so much love for Virgil?
I think it's his story and what he did with the 10. Definitely the Ghanaian bias all day, every day. Um, I think behind the scenes, I don't think people know how much mentoring and how much help he did with grassroots people like myself. I know people that he's spoken to that are not famous. They don't have 100,000, 50,000 followers. And his message to just sort of break the norm, be yourself, unapologetically be yourself. Um, no idea is a silly idea. And the more I meet people, the more I network, the more people I speak to, the more I'm hearing about the amazing things he did. And he even tried to bring it back home to Ghana to
Yeah.
have there for us. And I think when I talk about my love for the Off-White nightclub, I think people just hear all they hear is hype. It's
Mm.
hype. It's hype. It's hype. But it's deeper than that, man. And I even to this day, I'm still learning about people like myself that he's been helping behind the scenes and encouraging and mentoring, and just just for the passion of showing the next generation how they can be pioneers and lead the next generation of in. And when I say this, I say it in a different sense. The next generation of influencers, and I don't mean social media influencers. I mean people who will shape the fashion industry, people who will shape the sneaker industry. Um, without all these corny things about, like it, these sort of fake or buzzwords, sort of like empowerment and diversity. It's all natural, and you can see it in his work and the way he behaved. So I think that's where my passion for the collab comes from, and I try and learn from him and speak to everyone, just be open, help everyone. If there's someone that does a custom or is doing a project that resonates with me, I share it, and that's part of what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to live through what he taught us, basically.
You mentioned, well, you sounded like you regret not getting the Chicago ones early. Would you say there's a pair that you regret getting?
Is there a pair that I regret getting?
Yeah,
Mhm.
your most regrettable pair of sneakers.
My most regrettable pair. There's been a few. Uh,
Wow. No, we won the number one, like the all-time top on the list.
um, I forgot what they're called. I got a pair of Adidas. I think they were Sambas, and I really wanted them to go with a tracksuit I had. And I remember going to this designer shop in Bromley. I can't remember what it was called. And they had them. It was like a green. It was like green with yellow stripes, with a black outsole, white midsole. And retrospectively looking at it, it looks like a Jamaica shoe, but it wasn't. And they, I'm a size 10, true size 10. They were a size 9, and I still bought them. And I wore, and after about 30 minutes, it felt like my toes were bleeding. It was
Yeah.
horrible. And I never wore them again. It felt like when I took them off, my toes were numb. I will never, ever do that again. But that was years ago, though. I think there's been one more recently. The Air Max 97 Silver Bullets was a regret because I don't, I have wide feet. So the
Yeah.
97 is a shoe for me. So similarly, when I wore those, my feet were hurting. It killed me. But the one that I regret, because I've been really sensible. Oh, speaking of off-white Nike, um, the off-white Nike Vapor, is it Vaporfly? Tulip Pink. The
Mm.
Tulip Pink Vaporfly. I
Is
could
it
not wear
Is it the
the
color
running
that
shoes
that?
from last year?
it.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know if it was last year. I think it was
I
earlier than that.
think.
I think 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
No, 2017, 2018. And they had the black one with the white writing with the air on it, and had the pink one with air written in black on it.
Yeah.
And they're so pink. They're like fluorescent pink. I wouldn't say I'm hench, but I'm a pretty stocky black guy.
Yeah.
Pink sneakers. There was no, and people say, "Oh yeah, just wear all black." It was even worse.
Because it stood out, didn't it?
It looked like a beacon. Like it was much, man. I've never worn them since. They're too difficult to wear, man.
Okay. Kaff, um, thanks for that. I'm sure we all have sneakers that we regret buying, probably out of oversight, sometimes out of overexcitement. If you had to describe yourself, would you say you were a purist, or would you say like you're more into finding newer tech? I'm just asking this based on what you said about Virgil. So how would you describe yourself?
Um, it's funny because and I think it's how very much how I am as a person. I wouldn't say I'm a free spirit because that makes me sound like I just float around, but I would describe myself as like as like a sneaker chameleon. I kind of fit in where I want to or where I needed, because I wouldn't say I'm a purist because I don't always care about specific true to retro, true to OG sort of stuff. So I could never fully call myself a purist, but I do have a passion for the design and the technology and what goes into making a sneaker and the marketing and the official images and the promo. I've got a keen eye and a like for all of that. I I would say if I fell into anything, it'd probably be enthusiast because I can see the pros behind everything, and the things with the negatives, I'm always happy to give my opinion when it's asked for. I'm just as I've gotten older, I find myself less the sort of person to just come out and start shouting negative things with no thought, just
Yeah.
because I'm annoyed or just what's the point? I'm not putting positive energy into that, but at the same time, I understand people when they say, "Oh, you can't be positive all the time." I'm not. There's a lot of things that really get on my nerves, but I will discuss it when someone asks my opinion about it. Um, I wouldn't class myself as an OG because I don't always care about the whole story about a shoe. I don't always care about the history. Plus, there's so many shoes out there. I can't possibly know the histories about everything.
Everyone. Yeah.
I know the main and key points about the things that I like. But a thing with OGs sometimes is they get the burden of having to know everything about every shoe, and then when they don't know something, people are calling them out. So I wouldn't say I'm an OG, and I'm far from a newbie. So even though I can empathize with some of the struggles that the newbies have, which is why my page exists for people at every level. So it sounds dodgy, and it sounds like it sounds like uh, I don't know. It sounds like typical Gemini, but I'd say I'm a sneaker chameleon, man. I get in where I fit in, man.
Nice one. Nice one.
Right, that was really insightful. Do you mind sharing the main points you look out for when you're buying a sneaker, like the main things you look out for when you're picking up a pair?
I'd love to say comfort, but with how limited sneakers are these days, it's difficult to try a pair before you can get it. So if you're lucky enough to win a pair, that's when you find out whether you're comfortable or not.
Well, no.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I do care
That's
about
true.
comfort. If I'm buying GR pairs or something for the gym or something for running or something just for like dress down days at work and things like that, I'll definitely try a pair. So I'm definitely a sucker for technology. So if it's got a new air unit or if it's got new boost cushioning or even with New Balance and I'm looking at sorry with Adidas, I'm looking at their torsion system and all that. Um, I'm definitely a sucker for that. So if I was to categorize it, I say my top thing is look, aesthetic. Does it go with my wardrobe? Because I can't dress like everyone.
Yeah.
Jerry Lorenzo makes his style look very easy, but if you try and do it, you'll soon find out you don't. So so looks, aesthetic, color is important. Colorways are very important. Then I'd say technology, um, price. Let's start again. Price is top. I'm not buying many shoes for over £200. I think 160 to 180 is my comfort zone if I'm going to spend that much. So price, looks and aesthetic, um, story a bit. If it's got a good story behind it, I think that would make me pick a shoe over another shoe.
Yeah.
A lot of like a lot of the Joe Freshgood stuff and the conversations among us.
Gotcha.
The story is deep. The story is good. Um, Sometimes the collaborator, I wouldn't say I'm put off or drawn to certain collaborations, but apart from Off-White, I've definitely got a
But
connection to
that's
that.
all right, yeah.
I think those are the key things: price, looks, um, story, sometimes collaborator, and comfort is hard. If it's not a limited shoe, comfort is top because I'm not buying a GR shoe that's uncomfortable. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And we do get this question a lot in our DMs from, let's say, people that are just coming into the sneaker scene and all of that. So I want to pose it to you, and you can give the people the answer. What is a sneakerhead, and do you need a certain amount of shoes before you can classify yourself as a sneakerhead?
A sneakerhead is someone who has a enthusiastic or a like or a desire or a passion or an interest in sneakers. And I don't say you have to have all of them. It's one or it's any from that list. You don't have to have you don't even have to have a collection of sneakers because nobody there's no rule book.
Yeah.
There's no you're not following anyone's rules. And as long as you like it, as long as you have an interest in it, as long as it's a passion, as long as it's something that you have a consistent keenness to, then you're a sneakerhead. You can't say someone's not a sneakerhead because they don't have 5 pairs, 10 pairs, 20, 50, 100 pairs. You can't say someone's not a sneakerhead because they can't tell you what Michael Jordan's championship years were. You can't say someone's not a sneakerhead because they've only got Yeezys. You are a sneakerhead if you consider yourself a sneakerhead. You don't. No one can tell you anything, and your collection can be as big or as small as it needs to be. Your collection can be as limited or as GR as it needs to be. Um, like I would happily consider if I started being a sneakerhead today, I would consider myself a sneakerhead if I had one pair of Ultra Boost, GR Ultra Boost, pair of NMDs that are on sale. There's sneakerheads out there that literally every other month they go to an outlet just to see what they've got because they don't want to jump into the whole hype and entering raffles, but they're still sneakerheads. You got the football terrace sneakerheads that buy all the Liam Gallagher stuff and the Adidas terrace shoes. Like,
Yeah.
there's no set criteria, and don't let anyone tell you that you are or aren't a sneakerhead because There's no rules for it, and it annoys me when people try and set the rules. And quite often you see a lot of um the Instagram algorithm likes people that have all the shells behind them and the
Yeah.
white shell, the rainbow pattern of Jordan ones in different
Yes.
colors.
Yes. All lined up.
Comments saying, "Oh, this person only started collecting last year." So if they started, they're
Yeah.
collecting a
Yeah.
sneakerhead.
Yeah.
So anyone who's watching and they want to know what a sneakerhead is, you determine whether you're a sneakerhead. Do you like sneakers? Yes, you're a sneakerhead. Do you consider yourself to be a sneaker expert is a different question. Do you consider yourself to be an encyclopedia of knowledge? That's a different question. But then why do you need to know everything about every sneaker? What's your day job? Unless that's your day job, you're under no obligation to fulfill anyone else's desire that you know everything about sneakers. So don't let anyone tell you anything. I'm tired of people determining who is or who isn't a sneakerhead because it makes people sick of the term. It's like, well, I don't want to be a sneakerhead then because sneakerheads seem toxic. Don't listen to them. And you're a sneakerhead. Uh, you could have one pair. You could have a pair of Clarks,
And
and
still
you
be a
like,
sneakerhead.
don't listen to them people, man. Seriously.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a very good answer, and I'm glad you said that because I can see the reaction of the people in the comments. Everyone is
Yeah.
really clapping their hands to that. So yes, thanks so much for that. NY, do you know?
Yeah. Kaff, I couldn't agree more with your answer. But what would you say is your top five of all time when it comes to silhouettes?
Uh, Top five. Just because it's timeless and we've seen it stand the test of time. It's incredible to think that the shoe is what 30, 38 years old. Yeah, 38 years old. The Jordan 1, the Air Jordan 1, high. That's got to be number one because people's dads have worn them, people have worn them, people's kids have worn them, and it still has like this aesthetic of just being, you could be 40 years old, wear a pair of Jordan, you could be 50 years old, wear a pair of Jordan 1, and it doesn't look like you're trying to be young. It just goes.
Yeah.
So the Jordan 1 high, the Air Max 1, in terms if we're talking top silhouettes, the Air Max 1, the Jordan 1, that's two. Um, I know it's more modern, but the Yeezy 350, man, it's what it did to
Yeah.
sneakers is crazy. It introduced a whole breed of different sneakerheads. So the Yeezy 350, V1 or V2, I think I'll throw them both in there. Um, this next one's a bit of a Marmite shoe. Not everyone likes it, but the Air Max 95 for me, it's very comfortable. It's again very much a London, UK shoe. Um, I don't know what it is about. There's something about the 95 that I've always admired. There's a lot of Nike shoes. I'm trying to be a bit diverse, but these I mean, this is my personal choice. And number five, top five pairs silhouettes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you might. If you don't, I'm expecting one silhouette in there, and if you don't mention it, I'll remind you after that.
um, I'm trying to be okay. Let me just stop being silly. The Jordan 4.
Jordan 4.
The
Yeah. What about?
uh,
Would you still put? Where would you put the Air Max? Your love for Air Max 1 in all of this? Because this is your
say
top five.
I'd say number two or number three, the Air Max 1. Jordan 1, yes. The Dunk,
Um,
yeah, Jordan 1, Air Max 1, Yeezy 350, Jordan 4. And what was the other thing I said?
Air Max
Jordan 4.
95, 95.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm sticking to it.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't mean to backtrack, but back to the sneakerhead thing. I know sneaker culture is different across countries and communities, but how do you feel about replicas or fakes?
Oh God, uh, it's it's a weird one because it died the what makes sneakers special because you're mass producing fake versions of something that people really have a desire for and coveted shoes. But at the same time, on the flip side, shoes got so hard to get that I don't agree with it, but I understand why it's happening because the demand is there, but the supply isn't. And in some places, you don't stand a chance of getting them. So what can you do? There's this thing that I want. I can never get it. If you can't beat them, make it yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Excuse me.
I get I get about 20 messages a week from factories with their DHLs and their WhatsApp numbers offering
Yeah.
services.
Hmm.
Uh, Send me a WhatsApp message, and it's like they always send a profile, share their profile and their website, and it's just I see why people do it, but it really does ruin the game. But it's like I was saying it just the other day, the same way retailers have to deal with bots and people say, oh, you need to improve your websites because bots are taking all the stock. Now, the secondary market, people are now starting to turn to them and say, what are you doing about the fakes? Because
Yeah.
fakes are getting too good. What are you going to do about it? And now the secondary market is like, oh, we've got our authenticators and they're doing all the checks. And it's like, but nobody there is qualified like, no, there's no one who has a certificate from Nike to say you have passed our training. You are qualified to authenticate all of our kicks, because that guy who can spot 10 fake Travis Scott Jordan ones, can he also spot 10 fake Yeezy 350s? They're so different,
Yeah.
and these factories are making better fakes every week. I think that's what people don't realize. It's not like back in the day when you could see a Yeezy 350 with off-white written on it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yes.
okay, that's fake.
That's clear. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able, legitimately, I would not be able to tell the difference between a fake and authentic now. So to come back to the original question, what do I think about fakes? I think they're proof of the times. They're proof of how difficult it is to get the real thing now and how desperate people are to get the real thing. And I don't know if you're gonna, I don't know if obviously the people watching may already be aware of what you're trying to do and things like that. I don't want to steal your thunder or whatever, but that's why I think what you're doing is important because
Thank
that
you.
representation is needed
Yeah.
and
It is.
bridge be made so that authentics in the homeland can be a thing, so that a shop can be there, so that there's a direct distributor to Africa.
Yeah.
And it's so important, man, because the fakes there are just out of control.
It's
It's
it's it's it's ridiculous out there, and we there's so many incidents that we found out that people are selling fakes at the same price as authentic,
yeah,
or even at their resale prices, which it's really heartbreaking, because you know how it is, like when you get your pair of shoes, the excitement and everything in there, and then later on you get to find out that you spent
it's
so much money on a pair of shoes and it turns out to be fake. So yes,
it's never happened to me, from my knowledge, anyway. But
But
man, it must be horrible to
it is.
spend all that money and to still get a fake and
Yeah, it is.
nothing,
right.
no protection. You
But
can't
here's
And
a different perspective. How do you feel about bootlegs?
in general.
yeah, bootlegs. Yeah,
Yeah, like the Fugazi one in the chamber, or the
Yeah, yeah.
um the Fugazi slugs or something like that. What do you
yeah.
think about them?
Would you call the John Geiger's a bootleg?
But it's
Or
almost like
Bapes?
the same discussion with the Bapesters, isn't it? And the Air
Yeah,
Force One.
yeah. How do you feel about them?
I'm when it comes to the Bapesters and things like the Geigers, I'm very indifferent because they're not pairs I would ever buy, because something in my mind is telling me that this is just a copy. So for the Bapesters, for instance, the first time I saw them, I looked at them and I thought, oh, okay. And that was it. Because in my mind, I was like, that just looks like an Air Force One.
Yeah,
Um, and even as the years have gone over, I've never really found myself even paying attention to the Bapesters. I see that they have a cult following. I see that they sell well. But part of me is just like, if I want a pair of Air Force Ones, I'll just get a pair of Air Force Ones. So I don't, I don't know. Maybe I'm the wrong person to ask that question, because I have no positive or negative feeling towards them because I don't think about them. They're I know they exist, but I don't really pay too much attention to them.
um, Kaff, Thanks for that. If you had any advice for so it's a two-part question. What advice would Kaff of today give to a younger Kaff?
Hmm.
And if you had if there was one thing you could change, or sorry, if there's one sneaker that you could go back into the past for and cop apart from the Off-White Chicago's, which sneaker would it be, and why would it be that particular one?
You might have to remind me about the second one because the first one I think is a really good question.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was a good question, but I know I'm probably going to waffle with the first one, so bear with me. If I could go back and talk to younger, if I could go back now with everything that I've learned and go back to a younger Kaff, I would tell him to whatever you want to do it now. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't delay. Start it now. Whatever you want to do in sneakers, whether you want to design footwear, whether you want to become a blogger, whether you want to be an influencer, start your own business like Soul Supplier. Whatever you want to do it now. Don't wait. Don't listen to anyone else's opinion about somebody else. Always make your own decisions about people after you've met them. You be in charge of your network. Don't, if someone doesn't like someone and says, oh, stay away from that person, you wait until you've worked with that person or you've met them, because 9 times out of 10, someone has a vendetta against someone for a reason that's invalid. That person might got a shoe that that person wanted, so now they don't like him. That's not a reason to dislike someone.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, when I've met people that other people have told me are bad people, or I shouldn't roll with them, or I shouldn't speak to them, they've been really nice people, and they've actually helped me meet someone else that's helped me network with someone else that's led to an opportunity. So you make your own mind up about the people you meet and socialize with. Be open, come out of your shell. I'm an introvert by nature, so doing all this kind of stuff has been years and years and years of just come out of your shell, because I enjoy sneakers, and things like this allow me to be more extroverted where I'm naturally introverted. Don't be afraid to try anything once. If there's a silhouette you're not sure about or a brand you're not sure about, give it a go. What's the worst that can happen is it confirms why you don't like it. Go out, meet people, network, speak to everyone. The amount of times I've gone to events and just spoken to someone, and it turns out that they work for Nike, or they work for Yeezy Europe, or they work for Offspring, or they work for Size, and then I think there's been a few times where I've met people and they've worked for brands or big businesses. They're like, "Oh, you're Kaff, I've heard of you," and I'm like, "Rah." So all that networking does work,
Yeah.
and be consistent. You've seen my stories.
Yes.
I'll be posting 7 days on the trot with no break because
No break.
I like helping people. I'm still somewhere deep down, I'm still a newbie. I'm still a new sneakerhead. I'm still caught up in the hype. I still get a buzz sometimes when I'm posting official images, I'm just as excited as you not seeing it for the first time because the issue is happening of releasing. When I posted the white pattern Air Max 1,
Yeah.
I kept mistakes because I was so excited. So that would be my advice to a younger Kaff. Just do what you want to do. Don't wait. Make your own mind up about people. Be open. Try anything and everything once when it comes to sneakers, and do not compromise your integrity. That's the last point.
Yeah.
Do not compromise your integrity. There's so many things and conversations and discussions that I've heard. Release dates, shoes, someone's personal business. I will take it to my grave out of respect for those people. There's no amount of clout worth having that would jeopardize your integrity. If someone from a brand or someone pops up and says, "Oh, Kaff, by the way, blah blah blah," you can't say anything. Or I meet with Nike and it's like blah blah blah, but you can't say this. I won't say anything, because those commercial relationships are so important for your network and how you progress, and also just being known as someone who can be trusted. There's no amount of clout. And I see people on all these leak accounts and cook groups, I see them make the same mistake. They'll get information from someone, from a shop, from a store, from a website, from a brand rep, and they'll post it because they want to be first with the
it. Yeah.
it's not worth your integrity. If someone says, please don't say anything, be true to your word. Because now I have a whole network of people that know if I tell Kaff this and I tell him don't tell anyone, he's not going to say it. That trust is priceless. It's so important. And the second question, if I could go back, the question was go back and get
if
any.
you could go back in time to get any sneaker for retail, forget about the off-white Chicago's, what would it be and why?
It would be the Air Max 1 Pata Cherrywood. The reason why is because the first time I saw it, it literally broke my neck. Like I saw someone wearing like some maroon kicks, and I looked again, like, I was like, what is that? And it was, to be fair, it wasn't too long after the release, but ever since I saw, and obviously I loved Air Max 1s from day one, but that pair, I just, there's been loads of sick Air Max 1s since, but nothing has ever, similar to the Chicago Off-White one, nothing has resonated with me. So, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the story or behind the design. It's just a pair that really got me thinking. Every now and then you'll see a pair or a collab or a release that says to you, this is why I like that shoe.
Yeah.
I knew I ones, but now I know I love them. That shoe was sick. If I could go back in time, it would definitely be that. The Kid Robot was sick as well, but the Para Pata Cherrywoods and everything that Pata has done since with Nike has just been insane. So if I could go back and get a pair for retail, it would definitely be those. Definitely. I could say
NY, before you go, sorry about that. The just to the people watching the show. Thank you guys so much, and I've seen a lot of them are asking questions already. But I want you guys to hold on with your questions. If you want to, you can use the question feature on this app. Just drop your questions there, or you can hold on to your questions. We're gonna try and wrap up with Kaff, and then you guys can come on there and ask Kaff anything else. So please, we don't want to miss any of your questions. So it's either you hold on to it or drop it on the questions feature, please. Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah. Kaff, we spoke about going back in time. What would you say are the major differences between the sneaker scene then and now?
That's a really good question. I'd say back then, there's a few differences. One of the main and biggest differences is back then it was all about having the most exclusive color. And not, when I say exclusive, I don't mean limited. It was like the color that you don't really see anywhere. That's why back then, a lot of the OGs and people that will know, some people watching may know as well, was people would go to America. They'd be like, oh, if you're going to America, can you get me any pair of shoes? Because you knew it was in America. People in the UK would likely not have that color. There was back when the colors were more exclusive and no one really knew what the names were and things like that. So people really had a desire for what was different as opposed to what they knew was limited. Even though there's always been a limited kick scene and all of that, but it was more about the colors, especially for guys like me. And it was just me and my mates. We weren't insiders. We didn't work at the brands. We didn't know the history. We weren't trying to collect every pair. It was just like we had our specific 4 or 5 pairs that we all loved and we all tried to get. And whenever anyone was going to America, everyone would send them money, say, just get me whatever you can get me from the States because I know we won't have it in the UK. Another big part of it was now you'll find that people tend to like a lot of the same stuff because of social media now. So whatever's popping or whatever's hyped or whatever's in, you'll find the majority is that's what they'll like, and also their tastes will reflect that. So something completely different will come out from left field. For, let's say, for example, the in thing now at the moment is Jordan is having its so when Adidas come out with something like the Kerwin Frosts, people are just like, what? Where you have your niche sort of Adidas fans, and there was less it was less known what was hot. It was just the sneakerheads back then would know what was hot in the sneaker world,
Yeah.
but the general consumers would have their go-to kicks that were always cool. So now it's a bit more common knowledge of what's the hottest thing, because even if you're not a sneakerhead, you need only type the hashtag sneakerhead and you can see what's popping. Whereas back then, it was whatever was popping in your hood or whatever was popping at your school or your college. That's what everyone was after. So there's a bit more of a general view of what's good, whereas back then it was very individual. Um, and depending on what side you fit on, whether you're OG, whether you're newbie, whether you're someone who was around at the time, I think the general consensus is back then it was more, and I don't know if I agree with this, but people will generally say it was more fun back then, like with,
Mhm.
with the camping out
A lot.
and
Yeah.
uh, you know, having your like Nike talk, like the blogs and stuff, and people just meeting up for the love of sneakers and stuff. But I'm very realistic and grounded with that because it's like that now. It's just evolved. Like you don't camp out. Still got the events and the launch activations. And I mean, I know speaking on socials and direct messages on social will never replace actually physically going somewhere and meeting somewhere. But it's just how time has evolved, and that's the new version of it. Um, the fact of the matter is, camping out now is just too dangerous. You can't do it anymore. Um, so I think those are the key differences, but it's subjective. I don't know whether I'd say it's more fun. It was more fun back then.
Mm.
I personally think it's more fun now,
No. Okay.
but that's how my following and my thing has grown through the social interaction. And lockdown was a big thing, so people came even closer together on online and social media. So
Mm.
it depends what side you sit on, but you know, those are the key differences to me.
Kaff, one thing that we at MysolezFly we like to encourage is the newer sneakerheads or the newer people who are new into sneakers, who are now getting into sneakers. We are more worried about them going into sneakers for the wrong reason. So most of the time, you find us advising them on, or try and go for what you like, try and find yourself in shoes, try and get something that's within your means, and all of those things. And so, if you had an advice for the people watching this back home who are now getting into sneakers and love sneakers so much, what would you say to them that would be the things to look out for to ensure that they are enjoying sneakers? They have the right love for sneakers and they are enjoying a positive or healthy passion for shoes.
That's a really deep question. um, if if at any point you're not enjoying it or you're not enjoying something, have a word with yourself, reflect. Don't You don't need to have everything. Um, it's easier said than done when you say go for what you like, because sometimes you might like everything that's coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
live within your means. You don't. When I say you don't need every pair, I mean financially. You don't need to be spending £600 a month to be up to date with what's coming out, because I guarantee whatever you're thinking about you need to cop next, there'll be a bigger release next month, and there'll be a bigger release at Christmas, and there'll be a bigger. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy all of them? It's not realistic. It's not sustainable, and you've only got two pairs of feet. And I get, um, I get, I don't use the word haters, but I get people who don't understand me, and they'll leave like angry comments saying, "Oh, why are your Travis Scott Air Max ones still fresh?" Because I've got. Truth
yeah,
is, I've
yeah.
too many. I can't I can't wear all of them for them to all look dirty to satisfy that random guy that thinks all my shoes should be dirty. Um, my advice for the newbies to make sure they're doing it for the right reasons. Yeah, the moment you're not enjoying it or you feel like you're having to keep up with everyone, just stop and reflect and enjoy what you've already got up to that point. You can always come back in it. You, Sometimes it's good to take a break. If you find yourself going onto social media and coming off feeling sad, take a break from social media, because a lot of people during lockdown the trap of seeing all the releases, and my stories doesn't help. I'll admit that. Seeing all the seeing what's coming out, seeing everyone get their W's, and then coming off feeling bitter. And it's like if just seeing that was enough to change your mental state to negative, take a break, because that means there's something about it that's becoming a bit toxic. You're becoming a bit obsessed with having what's new. You don't need to. Sometimes you can go back, and if you don't mind going on eBay to get old stuff, if there's stuff you've missed that are now under retail, go and enjoy that, or try a GR that you've always wanted to try. I know a lot of people that want to try New Balance 992s, but because there's always a new Nike or Jordan release, they haven't got a chance to get it.
Yeah.
Take a break, go to a store, say, can I try my size on, see what it feels like. You don't always need to be buying stuff. The sneaker, in the sneaker world, the community, the sneaker scene, it's not just about buying, it's just about being a part of it. You go to an event, go to a shop. If there's a local retailer that is close to you and you're always by there and you get on with the staff, why not go in for a chat? Why not try on some pairs? Like if there's an account that you mess with, or a customizer, or someone in the community that you admire their pictures, say a positive comment, reach out to them. It's sneakers isn't just about buying sneakers, it's the interaction, it's the friends you make, the bridges you connect, you if you're someone who's good at design a shoe, send it to Nike. You never know. Like if you're someone who likes to um if you're someone who's really their fashion and you like to match your shoes with your outfit, do some style ideas. The it's like engagement and connections on social media is the new currency. And if there's something you can offer to stand out or to add value to it, do it. It's not all about buying. You don't have to buy everything. It's not important. And you look at my collection and say, "Oh, he can talk." I promise you, there's things that I've skipped on purpose because I acknowledge that it's not sustainable to buy every shoe. Like every shoe I bought, I didn't bar a few. I've only been gifted maybe 3 or 4 shoes in my entire collection, and these are from brands directly. So anyone thinking, "Oh, he got a back door," some of the gifts I've got are from Adidas, some of them are from Nike. So it's not a case of people can just say, "Oh, Offspring and whatever." But this and this is what I'm trying to say to you. All of this, if you're hearing that, you're thinking, right, he's been gifted shoes. It all came from just networking and finding what you like about sneakers. I like engaging. I think I told you earlier. Sometimes I enjoy seeing people message me saying, because of your link or because of your story, I was able to cop my grail.
Yeah.
There are times when I enjoy seeing that more than getting my own shoe or getting the latest release that week, because you get to a certain age or you get to a certain point in your sneaker journey where you're just happy to see others enjoying it the way you enjoyed it when you first started. And I think that's a very important thing. Enjoy it. And the moment you stop enjoying it, take a break. That's important. I'm not telling anyone to get out. If you don't like it, get out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it's something, if it's negative at any point, you're not enjoying it, take a break. If you've been collecting up to that point, guaranteed you'll have pairs you haven't shown enough attention to, and you'll put them on and you'll be like, rah, why have I not been wearing this?
Kaff,
You go on.
okay.
No, anyway, go on.
All right, got you. So I have to say your answers have been really insightful, and there's no doubt that all the people are on your side right now. I have to ask though, are there any hot sneaker takes you have, like anything that will cause like an uproar or something?
Um, hmm, anything controversial? Nothing really controversial. Nothing that I don't think the majority wouldn't already have know or would have heard of. For instance, I think the Yeezy 450s. I think they look like something from Alien. They
Kaff, don't
I
do
don't
this to me.
they, waking up at night with a Yeezy 450 on your face. It's a nightmare.
Kaff, I have one right to my left. That's one of my favorites ones.
Yeah. Any hot takes? It's not really controversial. It's more an observation. I think I think ASIC or ASICs, however you want to say it, I think they got a lot of fake fans of their brand around 2017, 2018, 2019, when Nikes and Jordans became too difficult to cop.
Yeah.
And people started drifting off to other brands, which is fine, no judgment there. But then people started to diss Nike, saying, "Oh, the quality is cheap and blah blah blah." And if you want this, like, if you're happy to get shoes made in Vietnam, I understand why people would be angry, but I feel like there are some people out there that just diss Nike because they're hurt.
Yeah.
And I look at some of those same people and they've all got Travis Air Max ones. The Nike wasn't bad. You just
took a lot of L's.
yeah, you went through got a bit hurt, so you start buying acid. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that would be my hot take. When it comes to shoes and hot takes on shoes, it's kind of like it's probably nothing that you haven't heard already. And there's no shoe I can think of that I'm really like, oh, this is terrible. Or the Martine Rose collaborations with Nike, I've got to say,
All right.
there'll be people out there that can make it look good. And when I think of those people, I think of those really high fashion Paris Fashion Week sort of people. But the Martine Rose stuff was not made for me. I know that for a fact. Yeah, there's no. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Light bulb moment.
I've never liked any of the Skepta collabs.
Oh no.
No. People tell me the first 97, the iridescent sort of.
yeah.
No, I don't like it. I don't like the BW 97. I don't like the shocks. I've got his Air Max Deluxe, because I like.
What about this newer one? The one that was just released. The
tailwind.
The one that has the tailwind. Yeah, the tailwind, but butterfly effect.
Yeah. So, when that model was out, well, at the time I was working at JD, that was one of the key Air Maxes that were coming out at the time. So the Tailwind 5, the Tailwind 5 Plus, Air Max 90. There's not one Skepta collab that I like, not one. And when I say like, I mean like enough to, if someone put it before me and said retail, I'd buy it. There's not one that you could put in front of me and say, yeah, retail, and I'd be like, yeah, cool. I'll probably just say, nah, I'm all right, man.
You're good. Skepta's not going to be happy hearing that if you ever watch it. But yeah. So you already know, MysolezFly is still trying to work on, because we have a lot of sneakerheads in Ghana. We have newer ones, we have OGs, we have people who just like shoes because they just love shoes. And we are trying to connect everyone. We're trying to make it available for people to be able to secure pairs and all that. But the most important thing which we are trying to do is to create that community, that togetherness between the people of Ghana. If there are if you were meant to advise us on any of the negative sides of this whole thing, what advice would you have for the community to look out for in terms to make sure that the community stays healthy, it stays positive, and just tell us about the dark sides of this community.
You need to learn to be happy for others. That's the key thing. The foundation of every community needs to be happy for others. If you can't be happy for someone else, then it's not for you. Because there will be a point in time when someone, because we're talking about sneakers here, there will be a point in time where someone gets something you wanted and you didn't get it. You can't go into it having expectations. You can't, no, well, not expectations is the wrong word. You can't go into it having an expectation that you deserve every release. You can't call yourself part of the community if you can't be happy for others. And I know there's even people out there that are part of communities and through gritted teeth, they will pretend to be happy for someone, but that breeds contempt, that breeds toxicity. If you can't be honest with yourself and say, actually, I'm a bit pissed off because I didn't, I don't know, there's something going on there that you need to address. But the two key principles is be happy for others and you're not owed anything from anyone. If you're in it to be part of it and to contribute. You're not obligated to contribute. No one's saying you have to do something or you have to help someone. Just be part of it. If you want to be, if you want to have a limited role in it, then you be a limited role. If you want to be, if you want to have a significant role in it, by all means, have a significant role in it. But those are the key principles, because the amount of, I'll give people watching advice based off of my experience. The amount of groups and WhatsApp groups and sub communities that I've been part of that have all broken down because of the same thing. Someone got jealous of someone else, or someone expected something of someone else and they didn't get it. So someone's now talking bad about someone else. The whole group feels awkward. The whole thing breaks down and everyone scatters into their own separate things, and then they start their own thing. And then it happens again. It's like a butterfly effect. And it's only the groups that are the most successful are the ones that go into it knowing that we're doing this for the wider community. We're doing this for the greater good. We're doing this for the long term of everyone just having a comfortable environment for sneakers. We're not doing this so everyone can get whatever they want. We're doing this so that everyone has a comfortable, positive place to enjoy. Even if it's just to talk about what you don't enjoy, you still got the freedom and comfort to say it. There's no judgment. There's education. The OGs that are in there, teach the young ones without making them feel stupid. The newbies that are out there, feel brave enough to ask a question, even if you think it's going to sound silly. If you don't know what a Zoom Air unit is, ask. If you don't know why the shattered backboards are called the shattered backboards, ask. And for the OGs out there, don't make them feel stupid for asking, because just because someone says they've been collecting for 5-10 years doesn't mean they don't have a right to learn about something they're interested in. And if anything, if you teach those people about these things and you make them feel positive about it, you're just educating the next generation of OGs. You're passing on your knowledge, and these are going to become OGs one day, and they're going to make the next wave of newbies feel comfortable. So that's something that was a real struggle to deal with, and to the point where I kind of cut myself off from any kind of category, which is why I said I'm more of a chameleon than anything else, because I don't want to be an OG, because some of the OGs that I came across when I was coming up, they put me off sneakers. I don't want to be classed as a purist, because some of the purists I've come across with have a problem with every release. It's not true to the OG. It's not the right red. It's not the right cut. They put So I cut myself off from all of them and I just became Kaff. So now you can approach me and I'll give you my opinion. I'll support, I'll reshare. Someone else can approach, and I'm just me. That's it. So to any community that you're starting, those are the core principles. Let that be your foundation. Be happy for others and be in it for the right reason. If you're just in it to get every release or get help, get every release, be honest with yourself. You will know whether you're in it for the right reason.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself, because that's not going to last long. You're not going to get every release, and you can't be upset when someone else does. So it's for the greater good, man. Be happy for others, support each other. Don't take it too serious. Have fun. That's it. That is it. If you do those three things,
yeah,
blast. Have fun. Don't forget to have fun. It's not that serious. And it's okay to have a different opinion as long as you talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't just say that shoe's trash. Why is it trash? Tell me why. The Martine Rose shocks are horrible. Why? Because they look square. The back looks like a clog. I don't know if it would fit my foot. It's kid shape. It looks like a loafer. That's why I don't like it. But if you like it, I'm happy for you to tell me why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
They build relationships.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. I know that's a bit long-winded, but
no, it's good. It's actually really, really insightful. And I was even going to say that. What is the one tip that you would give to us? The ultimate tip. I know you've mentioned something about. You said something earlier about. What would be that one tip that you would give to us as a community, or a growing community that wants to get to the level of Offspring community, Offspring HQ, Walk Like Us, the panel? How do we get to that level? What's that one thing that you would say we need to focus on?
Network. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid of getting no response. Don't be afraid to go to an event and feel awkward talking to people that you don't know and feeling like you're that person that everyone seems to know everyone, but no one seems to know me. I am literally just Kaff, a lone wolf. The amount of events I've been to, and I've gone there on my own, and just through being, and remember, I'm an introvert, so it takes a lot for me to just approach a stranger. But the thing that goes in your favor is we all love sneakers. It's not hard to break the ice with another sneakerhead. Just talk.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's like a cheat code. You you can go somewhere and not know anyone, but because you're all there because of sneakers, you're already 50% in with everyone there. Do you know what I mean? It's not awkward to talk about kicks. The main thing to do is network. I promise you, that is the most important thing to do, and you'll learn so much from so many other people. I've learned things from Julia from Sneaker Sisterhood, Van Willjams, and Stevie Instag from the panel, um, Mills from the panel, French Crep from the Real Soul family, um, my mate Essan, Seb Creps, East London Edit, Dan Batch, Ruddy Elmate, Aman, Aaron, Cassius, G, all from Offspring, the shop floor staff in Selfridges, the shop floor staff in Size, Carnaby Street, the shop floor staff in Adidas, Carnaby Street. You can learn things from everyone, and don't underestimate the power of social media. It's so it's it's not just a tool to flex your latest on foot kicks. It's such a tool for networking. And oh yeah, Emily Atkins from Soul Supplier. Like it's and I'll tell you probably the most important thing I've learned. It's not what people do for you overtly and whether they reshare your stuff or repost your stuff or put a like or a comment. It's what people do behind closed doors, and the name when they're sat in front of important people and they say your name. That is the most priceless support you can get from anyone. I've some of the opportunities I've got that I'll be forever grateful for is because someone had my back and said my name in an important meeting away from Instagram, away from TikTok, away from Twitter, away from releases and raffles. Someone chose to say my name in front of a brand or in front of this marketing company or in front of this advertising agency. If it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't have met with Nike. I wouldn't have done a paid stream for Foot Locker EU with Ebony X. I wouldn't have done been part of giveaways. I probably wouldn't have the opportunity now to speak to you.
Yeah.
Just because people say your name in the right place, that is, and for those people, I will forever, eternally be grateful. And that is the biggest mark of respect, and that is the biggest support you can receive from anyone. Just because someone doesn't reshare your stuff doesn't mean they don't support you. And I know there's people following me now that I'm friends with that think I don't support them, but I always say their name when I'm sat in front of Nike.
Yeah.
And they will never know that because I'm not the sort of person to come online and say, I've done this for this person and that for that person. That's not how it works. There's people that dislike me and I've said their name in important rooms. And that's what the bigger picture is.
Yeah.
There's people I know don't like me. I've still said their name where it matters because it's about the community.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about pushing the community forward. So that's my advice.
Right. And why?
Yeah, Kaff, you've shared so many experiences during this live. I want to ask, what's the most memorable moment, or what's the craziest moment you've had in sneakers?
Kaff, let me add something to it. The craziest thing you've done for a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
I think it's not really crazy. Anything outrageous for a pair of shoes. I've done
of character.
Anything character. It's kind of. I'll say one, which is just an odd one. But it's nothing that someone who's camped out hasn't done before. But I don't know if anyone remembers when the Puma Thunder Spectras dropped. There was like a black It was like a black. It was the debut colorway, and people were going mad. It was like, oh, this is Puma's answer to the Wave Runner 700. And I saw them. I was like, yeah, I'm on it. I really want them. So I camped outside Sneakers and stuff from 3 a.m. in the morning till 9:30 a.m. when they opened. It rained. I didn't drive there. It was just me and my jacket. And they opened, and it was like, and the shoe sold out. They only had one of each size, but it was the shoe. It was like the Puma Thunder Spectra. it, I don't even wear them anymore. And the shoe restocked. The shoe restocked about 8 times on that month online. I was like, I camped in the rain in Shoreditch. I didn't drive.
No way.
That I could have got online 5 times over. But I don't think. Okay, yeah, okay. So the craziest thing I've done, I wouldn't say it's crazy, but so there's this Air Max One, and I've still got them in my collection. It's the Air Max One Liberty, Liberty of London, or Liberty of London Air Max One, and I think it was a women's release. It's blue with like paisley print on the toe box, and they got like wax broke laces, very premium looking Air Max One. I saw my size online, and I think it was Offspring that had it online. By the time I tried to check out, my size was gone. And bearing in mind, again, this was back when I didn't really know about release dates and, whether something was a collab or not a collab. I didn't know if it was a quick strike release or whatever. And so I called them, and they were like, no, I called Size because I saw it on Size's website, and Size didn't have it because I was just phoning around stores because I was like, oh, I'm trying to get this shoe. And so I was at work and I was in Canary Wharf, and I was online. I was trying to find wherever had it. And so my missus called Offspring, and this is when Offspring's branch in Covent Gardens was still open.
Mm.
And we called them. They were like, "Yeah, we've got one size left." And she was like, "What size is it?" Size 10. I was in Canary Wharf. But then I had made some calls, and it turned out that there was a store in Brighton that had them. So I left work at midday to go to Brighton to try and get them. By the time I got to Brighton, it was sold out. I was still in my work clothes, and I told my boss that I'm going on lunch. I'll be back soon. Canary Wharf to Brighton is not a lunch break. So me, and she was like, Offspring in Covent Garden have got them. Do you think you'll be able to get there? I was like, I need to go back to work. So got the train back, from Brighton to Purley to London Bridge. I was like, should I go to Covent Garden? Should I just go back? Because by the time I get back to work, it'll be time to leave. Like I'm taking the mic now. So I was like, well, sod it, right? I'm going Covent Garden. I'm just gonna have to put a strike through today. Today work is finished. There's no point. I'm done. I got to Covent Gardens, but I got there and I think the time was about 4:45, no, 4:45, and it wasn't Thursday, so it wasn't late night shopping. It was during the week, so I had 15 minutes to get there. I ran from the station, and I got off a stop too early. So instead of getting off at Covent Gardens, I think I got off the stop. I can't remember if it was Green Park or no, it can't be Green Park. I got off the stop before Covent Garden. I ran with a suitcase in a full suit and shoes from wherever I was it or whatever, to Covent Garden, and I got there just as they were putting the shutters down. I was like, my missus called the Liberty of London. And the girl was like, yeah, they're behind the till. With 1 minute to spare, I'd been across from Canary Wharf to Brighton, Brighton to Purley, Purley to London Bridge to Covent, and I've still got them to this day. And that was, I will never do that big of a journey for.
Oh, shoes again.
That was insane. So that was out of character. I completely abandoned my work for that. So
great. Great one. Anyway, I think we should take you should ask Kaff one more, and I ask Kaff one more, because it seems like people have been waiting for a while to ask.
I was just about to wrap up my questions. Kaff, I want to know, in your opinion, what's been the best and worst sneakers this year, released or unreleased?
So far. Well, released on, okay.
The best and the worst. The best I would say so far. I'm trying not to be biased. I'd say the best so far for me personally this year is the Travis Air Max One. Um, I think it. I think it's added a breath of fresh air to the Air Max One because the weird thing about the Air Max One is everyone recognizes it as a good shoe, but sometimes when it finally releases or a colorway comes out, it doesn't get the same respect from the youth. I feel like the love for the Air Max One has kind of dipped for the younger crowd.
Mm.
They, within reason, they like their Jordan 1 mids and dunks and whatever, and New Balance 550s. But the Travis Scott Air Max One at the moment for me is the best shoe. The worst shoe of the year so far. I can't even remember everything that's come out. And I don't want to keep saying Martine Rose because that's an easy target.
Kevin Frost.
Oh yes. Ah, the Kerwin Frost, and it's not even the ones that are just dropped. They did like an oversized superstar.
Yeah.
And
Oh yes.
it was like even if you got your size, it will look like it's 4 times bigger.
Bigger.
And
Before
yeah,
we move on, I just want to ask you don't want to mention the Chicago's coming up, the upcoming Chicago's. You don't want to mention that.
I thought you were talking about shoes that have dropped so far. But do you mean for
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
um do I think that's the shoe this year?
Or the Orange Lobsters. You don't want to mention
Uh
that.
I don't think it'll be shoe of the year. Or I personally I don't think it's the best. I think it's the most meaningful drop of the year
Yeah.
because it's the first Chicago that's dropped in a long time. So I think it will have the most impact, but I don't think it's the best design or the best shoe of the year. Um, Personally, I quite like the design of the Sacai Cortez with the Zoom Air unit at the front. Um, but again, I still think the Travis Air Max One is the best new shoe of the year. I think the Chicago will be the craziest release and the most impactful, but I don't think it's the best shoe of the year. No.
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I was gonna ask one more, but then I'll rather leave the answers to the I'll rather leave the questions to the followers. So guys, Kaff, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on. We've spoken quite a lot. You've shared so much gems, so much truth, and we are truly honored and inspired by so many of the things that you said. And so now I just want to use this opportunity to like open up the floor. Anyone can ask Kaff questions. We're going to ask 5 questions from the questions feature. And then after that, we give maybe 3 people the chance to come on live and then ask Kaff any question you want so we can let Kaff go. The first one is, Kaff, are you it's from Joey Habiton. He says, are you a long-term or short-term keeper of sneakers? And how long have you held sneakers and why?
I definitely say I'm long term because I don't like getting rid of my shoes unless I have to. What's the longest term? I mean, um, I've got a lot of shoes that I got in the early 2000s, so I mean, you could say over 10 years. It doesn't have to be a limited shoe. A lot of my shoes I keep for sentimental value. My sister bought me a pair of GR Air Max ones. I keep them just because she didn't have to. She knows I like sneakers. There's nothing special about them, but she it's from my sister, so I'm gonna keep it. And she got me those in like 2006, 2007. So still got them. They're still in good condition. The box is long gone, but yeah, I'd say I'm a
Okay, good. Um, the next question, Kaff, is what's the next drop you're looking forward to the most?
I can't say. I'm not- um, the
It's
the
up.
next drop, the Sakai Cortez, Sakai and Nike Cortez. I'm really looking forward to those. I'm a big fan of the Nike Sakai Vapor Waffle. But seeing a Cortez done this way with an air unit as well, that
Yeah.
is insane. because one of my biggest issues with the Cortez is it's too flat.
Yeah.
And it gets uncomfortable. So the fact they've put a Zoom air unit in the front, insane. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Good. So I think I'm also looking forward to that. Cortez, like it being still maintaining the old colorway and a newer technology to it. I think, yeah. I'm also looking forward to it.
Before I forget as well, the retro of the Turtle Dove Yeezy 350 V1.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I've seen you said you're gonna dance for that sneaker. You said you're gonna dance for that sneaker.
Yeah, I saw that TikTok.
ES underscore FTP said, do you ever lose motivation?
Yeah. I'm human, definitely. When things get very toxic, and I'll be quick about it because I know there's other questions, but there was a time in like 2017, 2018, I was getting a lot of hate because I was able to get pairs people wanted. And I didn't know, I was still navigating my way in and how to handle yourself on social media. And I kept going back and forth with these people. And it wasn't, and funny enough, it was G from Offspring. He was just like, Kaff, just don't bother. Like, if you want to wear your shoes, wear your shoes. If you got something that other people haven't got and you want to post it, post it. Live your life. It sounds so obvious.
Yeah.
I think I need that reassurance that okay from someone outside of my family.
Yeah.
To make me feel like, what am I doing? Why am I not enjoying it because someone else is jealous? Yeah, man. That's something else for you lot as well. Best advice: learn how to navigate social media. You're gonna get people that don't understand your mission statement. You're gonna get people that are jealous. You're gonna get people that are just trolls and they just like being negative about stuff. The block button, the mute button, they're there for the same reasons.
Yes.
Kaff, this kind of a dicey. How many pairs of your current collection would you trade for the off-white Chicago ones?
I thought about that. My missus asked me that as well. I don't think I would because I don't think it would be worth. It would devalue the shoe. If I can't get it, it's gonna sound. It might sound arrogant. It might sound a bit delusional. But if I can't get it through normal means, and I've got to trade things that I've worked hard for, I don't think it would work. I don't think it'd be worth it. I don't. I mean, the shoe is worth £8,000 now. Like that would be a good quarter at least of my collection. Just boom, gone.
Yeah.
And some of those pairs that I know I'd have to trade to build up that value would be important pairs to me. I don't think I could.
Kaff, here's another good one. How do you feel about the resale culture? And do you think it's making a negative impact on sneakers in the community?
I think the resale culture is part of the game. It's part of sneakers. If I'm playing devil's advocate, the positive side to the resale the positive side to resale, not resale culture, but resale is it gives people the opportunity to get something they missed out on for a premium. You got to pay for it. The negative side to it is it takes away shoes from people that want it that want the shoe for the reason someone would want a shoe, either for a collection, wear, or whatever. People can debate about that all you want, whether someone has the right to a shoe more than another person. If the person who wants it for profit has as much right to it as the person who wants it to wear, that's a debate for the resale culture to. But I do think that the resale culture is about to implode on itself because there's too many people trying to do it. The people are now complaining the same way that sneakerheads complain about OG sneakerheads complain about new sneakerheads and hype beasts and all that.
Yeah.
OG sellers are now complaining about new resellers because they're buying all the stock and selling it for £10, £20 profit.
Yeah.
Whereas the older ones will probably hold it until they can get £100 for it or whatever. The resale culture is very toxic. And I think I respect people that are honest about it. There's people that will be in the resale culture but won't admit it, and they'll pretend that they're just enthusiasts. They'll pretend that they're anything else because they don't want to be judged. I give more respect where someone's just honest and it says, "Well, I resell, so you know, if you're open about it, more power to you." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's better than selling drugs. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna battle resellers. I've had to accept it's part of the culture.
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I don't love them. I'm indifferent. They're part of the scene. They're a necessary part of the scene. Um, and they exist. Um, a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about them, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Kaff, and then with the final one on the questions section, it's what's the update? It's from Mr. Simpson _87. He says, "What's the update on the Travis Lowe on Sneakers app? What's going on with that, Kaff? Because it was there, and the next minute it's gone.
I wouldn't worry about it. It will still happen.
Come.
Don't.
Mm.
It happened before with other releases. The Union 4s disappeared from the sneakers app and then came back and dropped.
Yeah.
The Fragment Travis last year, they popped up. The highs, they popped up then disappeared. They disappeared for like a week. Then they came back when the release was due.
Yeah.
The lows appeared, and it was just because they were delayed. People have asked me if the reverse mocha are delayed. I mean, SVD had their raffle. Their raffle was still there for it. I can't remember. I think it was Foot Shop had their raffle. Their raffle, I think, is still up. So if there has been a delay, I'm sure we'll hear about it.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. It's still gonna be difficult to buy when it drops. So don't worry.
That's a fact.
Guys, if there's anyone that wants to join the live now, please send a request quickly, and then let's ask Kaff just 3 questions, and then we're off. 3 questions, and then we're off. So if anyone wants to jump on the live now, please go ahead and send a request. Kaff, whilst we are at it, I was going to, there was this question that I had whilst we're waiting for someone to join. Let me see what's Jordan 1 mids. What's your take on that? With the whole mids agenda going on.
I don't hate them. I think it's good. I think it's something for the new school. Something to make their own, because it's like what I was talking about earlier with the question of what is a sneakerhead. I think because or I can only talk for myself, I can't talk for everyone, because I'm a generation that loved high. That's where the love for highs comes from for me. I don't dislike lows, but they look so close to a dunk that if I wanted a pair, I'll just get a pair of dunks. I think it's good that the new generation have got this shoe that everyone hated, and they've made it their own. They've kind of made it a bit hype.
Yeah.
And there's legitimate pairs of mids that look really nice.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it. I don't dislike mids. If there was a mid that I liked, I'd get it. But I've got so many highs, there's no point. I don't need to add any mids to my collection.
Yeah. Nice.
That's a good response.
That's a very good answer, actually, because for me, I also believe the same thing, that like, especially for the upcoming sneakerheads, like, I mean, if you can't afford the highs, which are now even reselling for crazy amounts of there are mids that are coming out in similar colorways that people also pull off in the same outfit that you want to do with the highs. So yeah, I totally agree with you on this. We're not gonna keep you on here for much longer because we're realizing it's getting too late now. And so if you have final words to say to us, Kaff, the floor is all yours. Your final words for us here.
Yeah, final words is keep doing what you're doing. You're going about it the right way.
Thank you.
You take anything from today, it's network. Please network. Be open. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Even the way you got in touch with me is perfect. That's how you need to operate.
Yeah.
Keep a close circle of good friends around you, people that you can bounce off of, people that will tell you if you're wrong, and you won't get offended because you know they're doing it because they got your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
You need those people around you to make the right decisions, because there'll be a time when you're tested, and you will need those people to. It's so easy to make a knee-jerk reaction because something, and then you feel emotional.
Yeah.
You can't act with emotion. You need to take a step back, take a deep breath, consult your people, then make your decision. The amount of times I could have made big mistakes and jeopardized big relationships because I saw something that I thought was an attack or something that was negative, and then I've reached out to my people and spoke, and they've given me the right. So I think definitely have a good group of people around you and network, man. Just talk to people. You'll be surprised who you can bump in.
Thank you so much, Kaff. Thank you so much, Kaff. That's a friend of our group. He's Habitin. He's the one who designed this T-shirt. So
Oh no.
yeah, he's also Ghanaian and he's doing his own thing here too. So yeah, guys, meet Joe Habitin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bro, it's good to
Kaff,
meet you.
I've been on for about hour 46 minutes, and it's been nothing but love. And I actually enjoyed everything you were saying. You were hitting everything spot on. I mean, that's what we need. You know, we all go try and stay together, support each other, and do our best. And I enjoy everything. It was really nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway, my name is Patrick. I'm originally from Ghana. A little bit of myself. I am the founder of the clothing brand, like Ralph said, Habitant. Basically, so in English, it's Habitant, but in French, it's pronounced Habitant. So I spelled it the way it sounds in French, but in English. And simply what it means is celebrating the great and ambitious minds who relocate in order to pursue their dreams. So if you look at take London, just for instance, there's like about 8 million people here, and hand on heart, maybe about 7 million are all from different walks of life. People relocate here for different dreams and whatnot. So basically, it's like a motivational brand to sort of celebrate these people. When you make a decision to move to a new city to pursue a career, it can be very difficult and very challenging, and you want to give up and stuff. So I've created this brand to sort of something you look at to remind yourself why you made this journey to go to this city or this town, and not to give up until you sort of achieve your goal, and you can use that to inspire other people as well. Yeah, so that's the main the motto for the brand, and it's been going for about I'm going into my 5th year now, and then I'll be going into transition to my phase 3, which will be because we're all different. People have different passion and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be doing the phase 3. It's gonna be just like limited stuff, for people just to have like that exclusivity where you got something and you go somewhere 9 out of 10 you never see anyone wearing it. So that's that phase 3 that I'm in at the minute, and Ralph just put me on. So thank you very much, guys, for having me on the platform. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Kaff, so before you go, Joey and MysolezFly, we came together. We've put together something special for you. So we're gonna talk behind the scenes, and then we'll arrange that. So an exclusive for Kaff, as a way of saying thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Kaff. So I'll speak to you again, Kaff.
All right, cool.
All right, thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Guys, it's been amazing. Much like it took longer than we expected it to be, but anyway, I don't know. What do you have to say?
Yeah. No, but I can't lie. I've loved it, and there was no second where I was bored.
Yeah.
It was just like straight entertainment, and it was really good
engagement
with Kaff.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this.
I told you we were going to enjoy it. Kaff has a lot. Anytime I speak to Kaff, we've spoken for so many times, like quite just a handful of times, but every single time he's just sharing something that I feel like will be good for everyone to hear. And do you want us to tell people who we have on next week? Just a little.
Yes. So next week we have a female sneakerhead. Her name is Crep Rep. I found her on TikTok actually. I'm not gonna hold you now. Let me keep this for the next session. But yeah, I've been inspired by her to make certain TikToks, and it's just going to be about her and her experiences and her journey as a female sneakerhead.
Yeah.
That's what next week's gonna be about.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this because I think us having Crep Rep on here would encourage a lot of the girls in Ghana to like go into sneakers. Though it would also encourage them to love sneakers. That it's not always about heels. It's not always. Sneakers is not even a male thing. It's a woman's. Everyone
It's
wears
everyone's
sneakers.
thing.
So
Yeah.
basically, it will be. I'm looking forward to having Crep Rep here. I love her TikTok. She seems like a fun person. She's got the vibes.
Crep
So
Rep
looking
has all
forward
the good
to
vibes. She
bringing
has
Crep
all the
Rep
good
on there.
vibes.
She has the vibe. She has the vibe. So yeah, people, guys, if you want to jump on and say something to us quickly, 5 minutes and then we just 5 minutes and then we just dip. No, she's not Ghana based. She's UK based
Yeah,
as
she's
well.
UK based.
So what we are
Oh,
trying to
my
do, we're
comments
trying
are
to
frozen
connect a
again.
lot of us. Like we're trying to connect the worlds. So we're gonna be bringing a lot of people who are based in the UK, based in France, wherever we can get someone in there. We're just like Kaff said, it's a community. We're trying to grow. We can always learn from someone. So the people will be coming from so many places. Biscuit says we need
Right.
Duke in on here. Yeah, Duke would definitely. We need to have Duke on here too. Something I really agree with.
And yeah, this live session will hopefully I actually hope this live session will be up for anyone else who missed it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to save it. I'm definitely going to save it. I'll save it off and then try and put it on YouTube as well. King Akosia, oh, I know who you are now. Thanks so much for hopping on. So she says I should put her on so that she can also do this. Yes, Akosia, definitely I'll put you on. Just DM me if you need any help copying anything. Like Kaff said, we are here to help. We're a community. Just come on and then let's see what we can do.
Right.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. We did it for you, and we are so grateful that all of you tuned in to watch us. It's almost 2 hours now, and you guys stayed on with us every minute. I saw that the viewer count stayed constant, stayed around the same region. So, guys, thank you so much. And anyway, should we end it now?
Yeah, guys, we really appreciate your time. It's been a really good session, but we have to end it now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And
Right,
guys, next
Peace.
Sunday, see you next Sunday. It's for the community. Let's keep growing this and let's get to higher heights. Yep. Thank you so much.